Welcome to another weekly staff meeting. I'm Shannon Reese. So why do your students continue in your languages? Let's talk about that. Now we know there's a few reasons why students would want to begin starting to learn a language. For example, their parents make them. Obviously, that's one that's always true. Some of them actually want to learn the language. Some of them want it because they need it to get into college or they want it to look good for their college applications. And some of them just really want to learn the language. But why would they want to continue once they're done with their requirement? Well, part of that is really up to the teacher. The teacher can influence kids into wanting to continue their language learning. If you make the learning fun, if you make the class something that they look forward to every day, then they'll want to continue learning. But what are those other things outside of the classroom that could possibly encourage students to continue? If you're lucky enough to be in a city or a state that has a language competition for your students, that could be something for them to strive for. For example, here in Wyoming, we have World Languages Day, which is put on every year by the University of Wyoming. They invite language students from middle school through high school to come and compete against each other at their level of language. At my school, we don't just talk about it with the students, we actually encourage them to do a project for it and then take some of them to go compete. For some students, it's just that thing to keep them going on with their language. For some of them, if they're in the first year and they don't feel comfortable yet, they'll be striving for it in their second year. We have had students in the past that we've taken just because we thought it would be really good for them, and they did continue on with their language study when they got back. Another thing that you could do is student travel. Taking kids out of the country is an amazing way for those kids to experience the culture and practice the language that they've been learning in class. In the trips that we've taken, we've had students come back and be a completely different student the very next year because of the experience that they had. And finally, and this is a big one, you really should promote the Seal of Illiteracy. It is celebrated in every single state in the United States and Washington, D.C. If you don't know about the Seal of Illiteracy, you can go to sealofilliteracy.org to find out about how it started, and they should have a link to the site for your state. That could be that final carrot that you dangle in front of the students that really encourages them to continue with their language learning throughout high school. Here in Wyoming, we're in our second year this year with the official Seal of Illiteracy, and I'm excited to say that my own son is actually earning that. If you are in a school or a district that doesn't really advertise for it, maybe you should be the one that kind of kickstarts it and gets it going. So what about you guys? What are some other things that would encourage students to continue with their language learning? Leave a comment down below. While you're down there, subscribe and click that bell so you won't miss next week's weekly staff meeting.